Hello and welcome to Bored Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here to talk to you about our 5 favourite horror, Halloween themed spooky games that you might want to play over this Halloween period.
Yeah.
And indeed, any Halloween period that takes your fancy in future.
Yeah, every time you want some horror in your
life,
table. Yeah.
On the table, in your life, absolutely.
Again, this is probably not all the games that... These are the games that we own and that we like to play, so that's something that we play every day. There are other 1,000 games like that, horror themed and stuff, but this is what we got that we like to play.
Absolutely, there is absolutely that. And there's a ton of stuff. How did you make your list, Matt? Was there anything that you really thought about specifically?
Everything that had a dark and not necessarily serious, but just a little bit of a dark Halloween vibe.
Yeah.
Anything that had, vampires, zombies.
Okay,
Well,
heavy on the theme.
You'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's got to be heavy on the theme, and for me as well. I went for a kind of feeling, right? So if I'm playing a horror game or a game around Halloween, I want it to feel tense.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you'll probably see throughout my list the majority of my games are cooperative, because I think those types of games give you that sense of tension against a shared threat. Like you're watching a horror movie together at the cinema or on TV, with your friends or family, and you experience the whole thing together. So I get that feeling from co-op games, and hopefully you'll see through my list a little bit of that. So,
all right, so should we start?
Without further ado, and we're going to go mono and mono.
Yes.
With number 5.
All right, my number 5 is One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
It's a tiny box, but there's a lot of experience in there.
It is. It is a party game.
Absolutely.
Halloween's supposed to be a party, so if you're having a party around next weekend or whatever the Halloween is, take this little box out and everybody's gonna have fun. It's a 3 to 10 players. It plays in literally 10 minutes, so you can replay it a lot. Someone made it into a drinking game as well, but that's not. We're not going to talk about it in here.
For the 18 pluses, thank you very much.
And it's published by Bezier Games.
Yeah.
Yes, Bezier Games. It's just a lot of fun. It's a social detective game. One of you is going to be the werewolf, and everybody needs to find out who the werewolf is.
Before they eat everybody.
Before getting eaten. No one's get out of the game. You always keep playing until the end of the game, so it's not like, for example, like Secret Hitler or stuff like that, when someone's get killed, it's out of the game.
Yeah.
No. This one, it's 10 minutes. You play for 10 minutes and then play again and again and again. So.
Absolutely. It's like the classic game Werewolf that's been around for years and years, but condensed down, made better, I think, and is an absolute blast. This is a great pick. That's a good number 5. My number 5, I'm going to reach back into my collection for this.
Oh, yes.
Is Horrified. This is a fantastic game, plays 1 to 5 players, published by Ravensburger, and in my notes here, is designed by Prospero Hall, the famous company that also did Pan Am, amongst other games. Horrified is all theme. It's a co-op game and is based on those classic monster films. I've got the American monsters here, but the classic Horrified will be fine, where you've got Dracula, you've got Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, there are a lot of expansion that came out.
It comes with a bunch of stuff. This, you've got the Jersey Devil, you've got Mothman. I don't know who Mothman is, but whatever. And it's just fantastic. It has that classic pandemic vibe. So, you're all working together, you've got action points that you spend every turn, and then at the end of your turn, something bad happens. And the bad happening is typically the monsters roaming around the town, eating civilians, which is just fantastic, making the threat level go up. This is such a fun game, and I think you could pretty much teach this to anybody. It's super accessible, and friends, family have all had a blast with this one, and I would thoroughly recommend it. It's not even that expensive, and you're going to have a blast every single time with this. In terms of the feeling of tension, this is probably the lowest one on my list, hence it's my number 5. But in terms of fun, it's right up there. Easy enough. to rank with any of them in my list. So this is my number 5, Horrified.
All right, now it's turn for number 4, and for my number 4, I got this little baby here, Warhammer Quest,
You said
Curse City.
It's not little, it's huge.
It is huge. There is tons of minis. It's not light as the as One Night
Or the
Werewolf.
Horrified, yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a great dungeon crawler. It's in the Warhammer fantasy world. That's what's the setting, and you basically try to liberate the city from vampires. So
Love it.
vampires, zombies, and all that stuff. So what's more Halloween than that? Yes, it's not for everyone. You need to build, paint, and do all the stuff as all the Warhammer games. So, but the game is really thrilling. You working with your team between the night and day. At night the vampires will have more powers. It's very, very dynamic, and it's quite a difficult game as well. So I really enjoy it. I was lucky enough to get a copy when the game came out. Then it disappeared for like probably a year. There was like nowhere to be found. There's been a second reprint. I'm not sure where they are with that, but yeah, I was pretty lucky to get a copy of this.
Is it out of print now? I've not played this. I have no idea what it's about, but this looks good. I'm gonna have to get that to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, my number 4 was Curse City.
Love it. My number 4, and I'm gonna get back in the collection as I turn around here and take out
Yes.
Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter, 2014, plays 2 to 5 players in 120 minutes, designed by Dave Gilmour and Isaac Vega. Sorry, Jonathan Gilmour, I do apologise. Jonathan Gilmour and Isaac Vega. Published by Plaid Hat Games, or at least it was at the time. Kind of gone out a little bit out of fashion now, Dead of Winter, but I still really thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's a fantastic game.
It's an amazing game.
Literally
it's an amazing
perfect
game.
for Halloween or spooky games night. It's absolutely brilliant. You are a group of survivors desperately trying to survive the winter together in a zombie apocalypse, which, you know, as you do. And alongside that, just to make things even more interesting, one of you is probably a betrayer.
A traitor.
A traitor, trying to tank the whole effort of survival and get your morale down to 0 or kill everybody or whatever it is that your secret objective is going to be. It's of the vein of semi-cooperative.
Yeah.
So you are cooperating for the most part, but everyone has their own sort of
agenda,
which makes everybody feel a little bit shady. So you're never quite sure who the bad guy is, and it is absolutely fantastic. I still thoroughly love it. Going out searching different environments, getting weapons, it's great fun.
I love it. It's still one of my favorite games. It plays better on a higher count of people.
Yeah.
When you can get the betrayal within character. You got someone can become like a lone wolf where you leave your camp and you're living on your own.
If you get exiled, it's really awesome.
That's a really good. There are other expansion for the game as well where you can actually play with 2 boxes. And you can in like
warring camps.
It very much like the Walking Dead style. You got different camps, and you basically fight within camps while fighting zombies. It's really good.
It's really a good one. That's my number 4, Dead of Winter.
And for my number 3. We keep talking about zombies with Zombicide.
Yeah, let's carry on with the zombie plague.
Again, I went for a lot of miniatures game. However, this is much lighter. The rules are pretty simple. It's not campaign based. It's just scenario based. There is a campaign, but it's not really a campaign. You just play scenarios after scenarios. Some are more difficult than others. And this is the Black Plague. Is the fantasy version. they came out with so many other Zombicide. You got the modern days one, you got the futuristic one, you got the one that just arrived at my door, the Marvel Zombie one.
Nice.
We're definitely gonna play.
We're gonna play that. Love
Yes.
some Zombicide.
But yeah, it's a 1 to 6 player. It plays the easiest scenario around 60 minutes. The more complicated one to 180. It's a Simon game. So production is good. Every single element is good. All the graphic and the design are really good. And it's this one is more like a puzzle. It's a miniature game, so it's a puzzly game because you need to think about where the next wave of zombies are gonna arrive while you're trying to do your mission. That sometimes it's gonna be like finding this or that object on the map. Sometimes it's gonna be freeing a family that is being attacked by zombies. There's a lot to do, and it's a great game. Again, on the lighter side, it's not courtesy, but that makes it more for everyone. So you can literally teach the rules in 10 minutes. So,
More accessible than it looks.
Yes,
Great
very
fun.
much. Yeah.
So thoroughly recommended. Zombicide. My number 3. Deception. Murder in Hong Kong. So we've had a zombie apocalypse. We have had classic American monsters, and now we have somebody being murdered.
in Savannah.
There's been a killing in
Savannah.
Hong Kong. It says Hong Kong. It's on the box.
Sorry.
So, plays about 30 minutes or so at the most, but you're going to play this probably a bit quicker, by Grey Fox Games, and it is absolutely spectacular. This is a social deduction style game, but kind of more in the vein of Mysterium.
Okay.
Where you have someone that is what they call the forensic scientist,
Yep.
and they're giving clues, but in silence, to the rest of the players who need to try and figure out who the killer is. It has that sort of nighttime phase, like in Werewolf, where at the beginning of the game, everyone closes their eyes, then we nominate a killer, and that person is going to pick either a piece of evidence and a clue at their location. And everyone has got evidence and clues in front of them. And so when you're the killer, you're trying to pick a clue and a piece of evidence that could apply to everybody to try and spread the blame around a little bit. It's absolutely wonderful. There's additional roles in here, like the Witness, which works like I think Merlin in Avalon.
Okay.
Right, or games like that, where if at the end of the game the killer determines who the witness is, they win. They get away with it. It's absolutely fantastic. Great social deduction game, and it's one of those social deduction games where you don't feel so bad about lying. So for people that are uncomfortable with the whole lying to their friends, because some of them can be a little bit aggro, this is the perfect game for you, I think, because you're not technically lying so much. You're really just explaining why a certain bit of evidence might point the crime towards someone, and the evidence is in front of them, so you can point to literal cards and be like, actually this, the forensic investigator said it was a bloody crime scene, and you've got blood as your evidence, so it could be you. So great social deduction game. Plays pretty quickly. Holds up very easily today. If you can get the expansion, get it. It's wonderful. But if you can't, even still, this is a great little murder mystery game with a great sense of tension. This is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
All right, it's time for my number 2, and what better than Betrayal at the House on the Hill. This game is fantastic.
Absolute classic
It's
Halloween
a
game.
classic. If you got a party for Halloween, you got 3 to 6 players.
This is the one.
Stop here.
Yeah, just stop the
here.
video to buy this one. Easy.
The game is just fantastic. For the people who don't know about the game itself, you are a group of explorers of
haunted mansion.
that start your adventure in this haunted mansion, and you start going around exploring. It's full of like weird stuff, and everything is fine until one of you will become the betrayal. He will become the boss that everybody else needs to fight.
It's amazing. You've got like 50 different haunts in the game,
Yes.
and you're like creating the mansion as you go, right?
Yeah.
You're playing tiles out, and then you're collecting different omens and items, and eventually you have to do a haunt roll, right?
Yeah.
And then that's phenomenal. And if you ever roll over whatever the haunt value is at the time, yeah, you become the betrayer.
And the thing is that you could be like, one game you are like a werewolf, another game you're a vampire, another game you're a ghost, another game you are a giant alien type thing,
or a serial killer, or whatever.
It's just like, it's amazing. All the character, they're all amazing. They all got like their own particular things that they can do, special abilities. But yeah, look, get a copy of this.
Third edition is out now, and yes, is the best edition.
This is quite, this is a second edition one. It's quite
still
old.
Pretty good.
Yeah. We will upgrade at a certain point, but for now we keep enjoying this. As you can see from the boxes, this baby's been around.
Absolutely.
For a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time because my number 2 is Betrayal at the House of the Hill. So
off we go!
Off we go, man! Thank you very much. Yeah, but this is an absolute classic, mate. So I don't need to say a huge amount more than that. But it's got such atmosphere to it. You know, you are literally exploring a haunted mansion. What's more Halloween than that?
It's just perfect.
And what I love is you all start cooperative. There's no question about it. You're all working for the same side until
you're not.
Until you're not. Exactly. And depending on where the haunt happened and who it happened to, you consult a little table, and that table will completely change the rules of the game from that point onwards.
Totally.
Win condition changes,
it's another game. Yeah.
It becomes an entirely different game, and the whole thing flips. It's an absolutely magical experience. Betrayal at House on Hill, the quintessential
Halloween.
big box Halloween game, I think.
All right, it's time for number 1, and there is only one number 1.
This absolute beast.
Cthulu Death May Die.
Love it.
It's another Simon game after Zombicide, I know, but there is another miniature game. But
hey, don't change the habit of a lifetime, man.
This game is so good. This game is so good. It's a dungeon crawler / adventure game. You're trying to defeat cultists that they're trying to summon Cthulhu or any other of the other monstrosity from the Lovecraft universe. It just plays amazingly. It's every run is different and it's difficult. It's not an easy game. That's what I really like of Cthulhu. It's not something that you know those kind of games that's more on the easier side. This one you need to plan every move that you make. Yeah. Every time that your character become more mad, you gain more power. But at the same time, the more mad you go, the more close to die you are. It's just fantastic, and it's so thematic. It's so tense. Probably not for everyone during your Halloween party. That's more probably Betrayal. But this is Halloween inside. This is literally Halloween inside.
This is your board gamer's game for Halloween night, and it's an absolute cracker. Cooperative scenario-based game, absolutely magic. Very action-based as well. Like loads of action all the time, which is very different. To other cosmic horror games, like something like Eldritch Horror or other similar games in that universe. Much more action focused, but it still has a great theme, dripping with theme, and loads of action. So much fun, and it is such a great game. This is a great choice, man. Love it. For my number 1,
what's he gonna be?
Well, we've had, I suppose, cosmic horror.
Yeah.
And we've had zombies, and we've had classic monsters. We've had a murder. And we've had werewolves, but we haven't had space horror, man.
Ooh.
We haven't had space horror, therefore it's time for Nemesis. And here I'm showing off my Aftermath expansion, which
you're flexing.
I'm flexing with my Aftermath expansion. But yeah, in place of this, Nemesis, as it is just a spectacular game. 1 to 5 players, plays in 180 minutes, designed by Adam Kopinski and published by Awakened Realms. And it is just, I was talking about tension and atmosphere.
Yeah.
This game has buckets and buckets and buckets of it. It's freaking terrifying as you play it.
I will say it's cinematic.
Very much a cinematic game.
It's you're playing a movie basically.
Basically,
And it's a movie based on aliens.
Legally distinct,
not, but
legally distinct from aliens, but basically aliens.
Yeah. You
It's,
won't tell like the scenario basically on a ship that is being infested by aliens that are not aliens.
Xenos, whatever. Not xenomorphs.
Not xenomorphs.
Legally distinct from xenomorphs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you try to escape, or like every scenario will be different. What your actually end game needs to be.
It's fantastic. You basically have amnesia when you wake up because you've been in stasis for so long, and you're exploring the ship, trying to work out what is where. You need to make sure that the ship is going to the right place, i.e. Earth, that the engines are working. All the while, you get the creeping dread as more and more aliens will pop out of the vents and attack you. It's absolutely magic. What makes it even more interesting and difficult to even survive the game is everyone has their own personal objectives, right? So yeah, you are trying to work together to sort of fend off the aliens and make sure the ship is in one piece. But I, for example, might have an objective that says, make sure Matt doesn't survive.
Yeah, that is the case of the game. Yeah, there's a little bit of betrayal
exactly.
as well.
Or it might be, actually, you don't want to go to Earth, you want to go to Mars or Jupiter. So you need to go and reprogram like the ship to go to a different place. You can go up to the ship's computer and change it and then tell everyone else, actually, yeah, we're still going to Earth, guys, don't worry about it, I just checked.
That's right, cinematic.
Cinematic, really, really cinematic. Yeah, it's just fantastic. I will say this, the rulebook is a bit of a nightmare. It is an absolute pig to set up and tear down. It takes ages, but I don't care. The atmosphere and theme is so good, I forget all of that. And this is an absolute great Halloween night themed game. If you are a full-on gamer's gamer and you want a big heavy game to play with, strap in, because this will be you for the whole night long. My number one is Nemesis. So these were our favourite games that we would play over a Halloween night, and if you've got a Halloween party, please tell us, what would you recommend that we play for Halloween, or if we just want a little bit of spookiness in our lives? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you like this content and would like to see more of it, please make sure you subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. And you can find us on Instagram at BoredStupidUK. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again pretty soon.
Ciao.